Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Ocelotl, and today let's talk about Ocelotl. Yes, this is a guide about this hero, how to play him, and there are time lapse in the description and you can see them. Basically, we're going to have three parts. The first part is the basics, the basic movesets and stuffs. The second part is my favorite part, the punish, and how to punish the opponent and stuffs, our stamina and stuffs. And the final part is the advanced part, like the movesets that I recommend to do, not to do, and stuffs. And also there are some other guides. If you were interested in them, if you like this one, go check them out. It's in the description on top of your screen. And yeah, that's all. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. And tell me in the comments what I missed. And also today we have a very special guest, Mr. Shigoki there.
This fat son of a bitch!
He's going to be our partner.
He's fat!
Okay, so basically, Ocelotl has movesets just like Medjay, infinite chains with lights, heavies, bashes, zone. I mean, Medjay doesn't have the zone property, but with him, with Ocelotl, you can like chain everything as long as you don't do it twice, like twice heavy, twice light, twice bashes, or twice zone. So yeah, it's straightforward, isn't it? You can just flow with like basically you just headbutt your keyboard and it happens. Alright, now Ocelotl's double light. Let's talk about that. The first light is 500 ms. The animation is a little bit slow. I mean, they can parry it, in my opinion. But the second one is 400 ms. It's very hard to deal with, to be honest. And also the in-chain lights are 400 ms. Like after a heavy you do a light, it's 400 ms. So it's hard to deal with. Now, after one heavy and then follow it up with another heavy, it's a finisher chain, just like the second light. All of them, if you do it double, it will finish your chain. But it's unblockable, deals a lot of damage, and you feel the heaviness of it. It's so cool. The zone attack has hyper armor property. It's slow. The second one has hyper armor at the first frame. It tracks very good. You can catch your opponent, and also it deals good amount of damage. The zone attack is not the fast attack, but you can't feint it. Both of them. You can cancel your chain zone attack. You can cancel your first zone attack. That's the good thing about it. It has hyper armor. It can be feinted. He has an in-chain bash, which means after a light, a heavy, or a zone attack, you can chain these attacks into a bash. Deals 18 damage. That's a lot of damage. They might nerf it. And the good thing about this bash is you can chain it into a finisher bash, which deals 22 damage. That's a lot of damage, but unfortunately you can't feint the second one, so you have to commit to it. So if they dodge it, because it's a finisher, you can't chain it or anything, you're in recovery, so they can guard break you, just like any other finisher move he has. But now the fun stuff is you can feint the first bash, so yeah, that's a very good thing to like trick your opponent to dodge or dodge attack. His bashes does not end here. He has a neutral bash with dash forward and press guard break. You will initiate a bash which you can delay it a little bit, so you can kind of trick it like just like Black Prayer and other heroes with dash forward bash. And it's a chain starter. Also, it used to deal damage. Now they nerfed it, and instead of dealing direct damage, it deals a follow-up light with 9 damage. And it's a chain starter too. Now let's talk about the Hunter stance. While you hold back with your guards, this will initiate this move. He will walk faster, but he can't guard break or block or dodge either. So you're basically vulnerable while in this stance, but you walk faster. That's very good. You see, I walk very slow, but in the Hunter stance, I walk faster, especially on left and right and forward, not the backward. Uh, and if you press heavy, he will launch. It has a very good range. It's this move built for Dominion and like 4v4 situation while you want to gank. You see an opening, you launch yourself at it. Also, it has a dodge property. What does it mean? I'm going to show you. Ouch. Okay, you see, I dodged it properly with this stance. It's just like hidden stance of Nobushi or JJ's. So yeah, that's it. It's not built for duels because they can react to it. It's nothing special for it, but in like 4v4s in ganking situation, yeah, it will be powerful. But you have to be careful. Somebody come knocking from your behind and guard break you. The heavy after like the launch attack, it deals 24 damage just like the heavy, and it's a chain starter, which means you can chain it into other attacks, but it's like if you do another heavy, because it's a heavy, it will be the unblockable, the second heavy, and a finisher. So go with the light if you want to like continue your chain or a zone attack after that. And yeah, you can't punish people with this because it's slow. Like for example, Warden's dash forward shoulder bash, you do this and then do the heavy, it's slow. He can't block it. So don't do this, just in Dominion. Just in Dominion. Remember that, guys. Like any other new hero, he has the dodge attack as well. It's a light attack, like you dodge and then press light. As you can see, it's enhanced. They can't fully block it. You can continue your chain after that. It has a light property, so after that, if you do the second light, it will finish your chain. But you can, like if you want to continue your chain, you have to use zone attacks or heavies to continue. And finally, he has the sprinting attack, which is heavy. While you're running, you press heavy. If you lock on before you land the attack, you can chain it. It's a chain starter. It's a heavy chain starter, so don't do the second heavy if you want to continue your chains. Do the light and zone attack. Okay, we reach the broken part of this hero. After any heavy parry, you can do a dash forward light. Instead of a light, as you can see, the damage is 12 and the dash forward light is 15. Even better than your zone attack. You can do the zone attack. I'll be damned, I didn't know that you can do the zone attack. Every time you do it, it will be blocked. But it seems you can't do it, but you need to be like mashing on it as soon as you got the parry. But it deals 14 damage, so basically if you're in a Dominion, you don't want to get interrupted because it has the hyper armor, you can go for this one and sacrifice 1 HP damage reduction. But yeah, the dash forward light is the way to go. On a light parry, it doesn't matter which side, you always get 24 damage from a heavy. So yeah, that's basically it. All side of the heavies are at the same pace, so you don't need to be worried. On a guard break, doesn't matter which side, you always get a heavy for 24 damage because the speed of attacks are just as the same. So yeah, guard breaks, any side, 24 damage, a heavy. And because of that, you don't need the wall splat, to be honest, unless your opponent is very low on stamina and you want to like deal damage, stamina damage. And yeah, if you didn't know, it deals stamina damage, the throw. Doesn't matter in this hero or any hero, you throw your opponent, it deals stamina damage. And you actually can go if you have you just saw that the bot just blocked me. But this time he didn't, because I had a little bit of space between him and wall. If you're so next to the wall, you can't do this. You can go to perform the hunter stance and then launch. It deals 24 damage. I don't know why you want to do it, maybe for style, but it's there. Okay, the broken punish number 1. You throw, do double heavy. Look at the damage. 52 damage, that's a lot of damage. And by the way, if you change your guard while throwing the guy, it won't happen. So like you keep that guard whenever it was and just press heavy, double heavy. Don't change your guard, or otherwise the guard will parry it, and as easy as that. Okay, on out of stamina parry, you get a dash forward light, a follow up heavy, and another follow up light. Let me show you this thing. The guard was on top. The guard of see this he blocked. I've set this spot to parry. He just could block, and the reason he could block the third light, it's the reason that his stance, his guard, was parked on the top, and I did this last light on the top. So be careful on that. Change the third attack on the opposite side of the player's guard. Like it was on top, like this one. Never do the third light on top. Do it on the sides. You see? And it deals a lot of damage. You just see 9, 15, 26. That's a total 50 damage. That's a lot of damage, guys. I don't know if they're going to change it, if they're going to do something about it. I don't know. There's another alternative punish that is the safest. It's guaranteed. Doesn't matter that trick that I told you. It's the follow-up bash instead of heavy. You do the dash forward light, follow-up bash, and then light. They can't do anything about it. You see, after that I did a heavy on yeah, because I'm bad. Okay, in terms of tips, I really don't have much to say because it's very straightforward. It's not very complicated. You guys just can make your own playstyle out of this hero. Like, you shouldn't like say, okay, he plays like this, I'll play like that. No, just see what a player, how the player plays, then put the good thing he has inside your own mix-ups. So how I approach this hero is that if it was me, because the light animation is a very good giveaway on like light pairing, like they can easily react to it, especially the top light. I'd go with the neutral bash because bashes in this game, in my opinion, are the best openers, and this bash has openers, so it's not like only a one bash. You can do your stuff after that. So use that more, just like BP sometimes do the dash forward, empty dash and guard break, or empty dash and wait for their dodge attack. And that was the first one. The second one is that if your opponent dodge attacks a lot in between your mix-ups, like they get frustrated, they try to like do a fast attack, anything to interrupt you. Especially on the dodge attack, you can react to it. So you see them like after they dodge your heavy, you saw the dodge, you just automatically go for the zone attack because it has hyper armor. You can like tank the attack and deal your own damage, and it usually deals more damage than a dodge attack, except it being like a heavy property dodge attack like Warmonger or Tiandi. So yeah, basically you can trade with them. So if you saw the opponent dodge, go for the zone attack. You can always feint it. That's the good part of it. And also about the second bash that deals 22 damage and you can't feint it, sometimes let it go, and sometimes do not let that go. Just wait for your opponent. Maybe they just empty dodge, and then you can do a follow-up heavy after the first bash. I might be a little bit like complicated with the way I'm saying it. Like you do the first bash in between, like that one deals 80 damage, and they dodge it. So you can do the second bash and catch their dodge, or you can do a heavy and catch their dodge again. But be careful of that. Some like a player like me, I know that they're going to do the second bash after the first bash, so I'll dodge. I'm waiting for that. But Still, if I dodge, they might not go for it and guard break me. That's the power of this hero. You have to guess, which I really like him. Try to do more mix-ups with him. Don't be very transparent with him because, yeah, don't be transparent with any hero. And also use the in-chain lights. They're hard to react to, especially on the same side. I like to do that because they usually don't expect that, but don't use it much. They might expect that. And if you saw them pairing, they either have supernatural, I'm not saying supernatural, super reactions, good reactions, or they have good guess. So try to mix it up. Sometimes go for heavy, sometimes go for light. By the way, watch out for your stamina. As you see, I'm not managing my stamina well, and it bites me in the ass sometimes. So yeah, he eats stamina a little bit much, which, I mean, it's the way to balance it because he can be so hard to deal with. So yeah, be careful of your stamina as well with this hero. And to be honest, that's it. Like, I don't need to tell you guys much about this tips and tricks. Only that I'm a duelist. I'm not very good in 4v4, so I really can't help you with that part. So the only thing in Dominion that I know is that if you do sidelights, the trajectory is a lot, so you can catch people around you with that. That's the only thing that I know about it. So yeah, like just BP does that too. BP's sidelights are very good. And yeah, I love the play style of this hero. The punishes are, especially the out of stamina punishes, are a little bit broken. They need to, like, I don't know, they need to do something about it. Maybe not. So the final tip that I can give you is don't get out of stamina against this hero. And if you got out of stamina, just eat every single attack. Don't feed them. You can't afford the out of stamina punish. You can't afford it. Just eat it. Just take it. Okay? And as an Ocelotl, you should have this knowledge that they rather take the damage rather than like go for it and get 50 or 52 damage out of it. So yeah, you might want to be more aggressive and let the attacks go sometimes, maybe. Thank you guys for watching until now. Tell me in the comment what do you think about this hero and what other tips you came in your mind. These were all I could say. See you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.